Hello everyone, this is ICO Talk. My name is Yelena and my guest today is Mr. Elburz Sorkhabi, a founder of ExHasta project. Good afternoon, Elburz. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be on ICO Talk.
Okay, Elburz, for an average person like me, at least at first sight, your project seems extremely difficult to understand and to analyze. Will you please explain it to us in a very simple language? What is ExHasta, what is Moonshot, and how it all works together?
Absolutely. You know, it's one of those interesting concepts that looks very difficult on paper, but once you talk about it, it's very simple. So what we do is ExHasta is a platform that develops moonshots. That's the kind of first level. And a moonshot is any kind of project that uses groundbreaking technology to try and make a lot of impact in the world. So we can think about things like Elon Musk's Hyperloop is a good example of a transportation moonshot project. There's lots of examples of, artificial intelligence and machine learning, augmented and virtual reality, big data, Internet of Things, even blockchain itself. All these different new technologies can have so much positive impact. So a moonshot project is a project that tries to take one of these technologies and create a 10 times change in the world somewhere. So ExHasta, what it is? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. What is ExHasta, and what is the role of blockchain in ExHasta itself?
Exactly. So ExHasta takes this idea of these moonshots, and what we do is we combine this with blockchain to make a platform where we're developing all these really groundbreaking technologies. We take everything that we develop. We take everything from the source code of the files, anything we've designed, business plans, contracts, research, reports, everything that would go into the development of one of these really big projects, we take and then we put for sale on our platform, ExHasta. So ExHasta becomes this kind of really amazing new type of online store where, innovators, entrepreneurs, small businesses can go on there and they can purchase these really advanced kinds of technologies, designs, business plans that normally they wouldn't have any access to. Normally, these kind of things would be locked away somewhere in the vault of a really large company because that's how they want to make money. So ExHasta is this way of taking all this high and powerful technology and really decentralizing it on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm. I see. And are there any other projects of the kind on the market?
I haven't seen any specifically in our area of technology. We've seen a couple of other intellectual property focused blockchain projects. Most of those were around media, music licensing, kind of content creation. Mm-hmm. But we haven't found any that have really been attacking this problem of how do we get innovation to as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's now proceed to your ICO. First of all, what is the hard cap?
The hard cap is 33 million EXH tokens.
Mm-hmm. That is in dollars?
So if we're talking about the targets for our fundraising, we have three different stages that we're trying to reach. I guess it's 4 with the pre-sale. So the pre-sale, we're trying to raise 350,000 US dollars. Mm-hmm. And then when we go into our crowd sale, the kind of minimum cap that we set is 5.3 million US dollars. So if we raise below that cap, we would actually refund all the Ethereum raised from the crowd sale.
Great.
Now, once we go above that, we have our kind of ideal fundraising goal, which is 13.4 million US dollars. And this allows us to create 3 moonshot projects over the course of 3 years. And then our maximum cap is 25 million US dollars. And that allows us to create 4 moonshot projects over 4 years.
That's what I wanted to ask next. What for do you need the ICO? What are the key milestones of development? So
the key milestones of development are, these are kind of these really groundbreaking and expensive technologies to develop, which is why we kind of turn towards the blockchain and ICO platform, because it allows everyone who's interested to kind of buy these tokens, get ready to be able to purchase them. And then once we've successfully funded, we begin development of our platforms over the course of this winter and spring. And then we would have our first Meridian Summit in, I believe it's June of next year. And starting in May, we would start our first moonshot project development. And from that point, every 14 months, a whole new project would be available for purchase on our platform.
Mm-hmm. I see. And what about your tokens? What are the main benefits of your tokens?
So there's two real benefits to our tokens and a third smaller benefit. So the first main benefit is with the EXH tokens, you're able to go on our platform and purchase all of these different kinds of intellectual properties. And like I was saying, this can be anything from research reports we've done into groundbreaking technology, if we've written any computer code or if we made any hardware, schematics, blueprints, designs, if we sign contracts with other companies, all of these things will be able for purchase with the EXH tokens. On the other side, we also have a training part of our platform. And we think that it's really important that if we're developing all these kinds of technologies, that we're also training innovators and entrepreneurs to be able to use these technologies. So 3 times a year, we have a special program where people can use their EXH tokens to apply to come and work with us for 1 month. And then everyone else on the platform is able to review and rank the people that have applied. So it's out of our control. We don't pick and choose who we think will be good. The community decides, these are the top 20 representatives from our community. And then they get a fully expense paid trip to come work with us for a month. And, they get training, workshops, they have guest lecturers, and they really become a part of our global network.
Mm-hmm. I see. And now a few words about your team, please.
I'm very fortunate to work with our team. If you read some of their bios, these are kind of industry veterans and pioneers. A lot of them are involved in everything from particle physics, music, chemical engineering, future studies. And what's really interesting is even though these are some of the best and brightest people in the field, it's very hard to find a job that is both challenging and will create a lot of good impact in the world. Many jobs you go to work at, it's either quite boring and quite tiring, or you're working at a job that's very difficult, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to make more money for the company. So that's kind of the idea behind our team, was that, all of these really amazingly talented people, we came together and we thought, how can we find something difficult that would be challenging, but also create a lot of impact? And moonshots were kind of the idea for that.
Mm-hmm. Great. And what do you personally think about the future of the ICO market in the world?
I think it's very interesting because it's a completely new way for companies to raise money. And, it's interesting because if you think about how companies used to raise money before, there was a very small handful of people with a lot of money, and you'd have to go and, try and wrestle with these people to get a big chunk of money. Now with blockchain, it almost flips that upside down, where now you have millions and millions of people who all have a little bit of money that they really want to invest in things that they're interested in or things that they can get direct benefit from. And I think that's going to create a lot of platforms like ExHasta that are not just, companies making something and then selling it. We're going to have a lot of platforms that are going to be listening to their users, and a lot of the platform users might be directly involved with what's going on at these companies.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. And still, if you don't get enough money, if you don't achieve the hard cap, what will happen with the project in this case?
Now, if we don't achieve the minimum cap, what we'll do is we'll refund the Ethereum raised during the crowd sale. Anywhere above that minimum of 5.3 million US, we are going to go ahead and start developing these moonshots. And the amount we raise from that minimum cap to our maximum cap of 25 million US will just change how many projects we're able to do, how much we're able to spend on them, how many years we can kind of work on this thing. So it just scales from the minimum to the maximum.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. Okay, and to summarize it in 1 or 2 sentences, in very brief, why shall I invest in ExHasta?
I think if you're an innovator, entrepreneur, small business, you're going to find potential in what we're selling that you would never have found anywhere else. If you're a young professional, an innovator, and you're looking for training, our program will be unlike anything ever. And, on the other hand, because all these different people are kind of fighting for that limited amount of coins, if you're an investor, you can buy these tokens, hang on to them, and then try and sell them at a premium to other companies who are interested in buying our technology.
Okay, I see then. Elburz, thank you very much for this interview, for being with us. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and I remind you that my guest today was Elburz Sorkhabi, a founder of ExHasta project. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and watch more interesting interviews. Bye-bye.